Welcome everybody to a special tell-all edition of 90 Day Fiance Fridays on a Sunday. We're here with George and Gina and a couple of our main peoples like Cocco, Puff, and Lana and Heather. And what's good, y'all?
What's up, everybody? We got the part 1 of 2 of the finale tell-all tonight, and there's a lot to cover. There's not a lot of new information, but there is some stuff to talk about.
Mm.
I did feel like it was entertaining.
Yeah.
I had a lot of people that were texting me throughout, so I was a little distracted, but I still feel like there was a little little snippets of information in there that I thought were interesting. So
Yeah, I will say if I use the barometer of if I'm like way behind on the show versus like catch up to real time, I did get through it fairly swiftly. So I guess that's a compliment to the tell-all.
well, I don't think I got up to get anything the whole time, so I guess
Mm.
that it says it was okay, but nothing happened that I was shocked by. Like
Mhm.
I think you mentioned on Twitter, you were like, Sarper or Shakarper, they were
Mhm.
they were merely on the tell-all as a job application to get casted for the last resort. Like
Yeah.
everything that they did and said was, hey, look, we're really unhappy and we slept in a different bed last night and she kicked me out of the house. Like everything was a casting audition.
Yeah, I mean, even at one point when they were backstage, you literally saw, I didn't take a screenshot, but you literally see Shekinah say, like, oh, yeah, he probably needs therapy. He should go to therapy.
Yeah, she did. She was like, "You need therapy so bad, it's ridiculous," or whatever. And I was like, it's almost like the producers are actively telling them, like, tell everyone that you're gonna be on the last resort, which I think is really stupid. But that's
They're
Mhm.
feeding them lines through the head, like through the earpieces.
Yeah, but
They're little puppets.
it was exactly similar to when I guess it was Rob and Sophie when they were on one of their tell-alls. Literally, it was like, yeah, Rob needs therapy, or we should go to dual therapy together, couples therapy together. Like they were saying that on
yeah,
the
they
tell.
said that he agreed to going to the therapy but never went.
Hmm.
And then that was the segue of them going into the last resort, which is fine, whatever. I don't care. But
Yeah.
Shakarper, they don't need therapy. They need like something more than that. And again, I think we've made this very clear. The last resort is not actual therapy. It's
Hmm.
not real. It's for entertainment purposes. It's for storylines, and it's for opening up people to different shows. So Shakarper, they could go away, right? Like I would be totally fine if they went back to wherever they are and just disappeared. Like I'm so tired of their BS. But I did like some of the drama that came up around Shekinah, especially the drama between Amani and
Hmm.
Shekinah, because I felt like that was kind of real. Because Sean was like,
Yeah.
I feel like y'all don't like each other and whatever. And I was like, they don't. And I was like,
No shit. Can't you read the room? Like, hello.
but I don't
Like,
think it was fake though. I think that they brought their outside internet drama in. So I kind of enjoyed that. And we found out that Shekinah messaged Amani and asked Amani if Ani was trans.
mhm.
And that was kind of, I don't know, a lot of people were offended by that because I think obviously Aaliyah was like, oh wow, that's insane. I can't
Yeah,
believe that.
people. I think I loaded up the Blue Sky app because I somebody was messaging me on there, and then I think somebody on Blue Sky was especially offended because they were like, "Aaliyah's in the same room as y'all are using it, using that as like a
An
diss."
insult.
Yeah,
Yeah,
insult.
yeah. That was insulting. And but I will say that that question arose on Twitter throughout the season. Like a lot of people were saying, "Oh, I'm getting trans vibes," and I'm not gonna lie, I got a lot of messages from people. They were like, "That's not what's going on here, right?" And I was like, "No, TLC always capitalizes if they're doing something tolerant and what's the word, woke." They're gonna
Hmm.
advertise it. So I was like, if she was, you better damn believe that they would have made that part of the plot. So I was like, if they didn't mention it, then she is definitely not. But a lot of people were like, oh, her bone structure, her neck, her facial features, I'm getting trans. And I was like, well, see, now y'all are taking it too far. Cause I was like, if TLC was gonna put a trans person on our screen, they would have made sure we knew. So I don't know how I feel though, because if I'm in a relationship and somebody messages me and they ask me if the person I'm in a relationship with is trans, I don't know if I would be offended if they're not. but I'm pretty sure I would be, right?
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure I would be because that's like a horrible diss to the person that you're. And again, I don't know if Amani is really in a relationship with Ani. I think it's all fake.
Yeah, I
It
think
is.
that's all. I think that's all fake to
Yeah, it's an effed
to
up.
still be able to be on the show. And then, but the whole part with her, with Amani, like messaging Shekinah saying, like, yeah, when we do the tell all, if I shit on you, just know it's like, it don't take it personal. Like, I don't think that would. I don't know why that blew up in Amani's face. I felt like, yeah, she was just trying to let her know in advance, like, yeah, don't take it personal if we get into a fight. I didn't see that as being like a
Well,
huge deal.
but it is giving the inclination that you premeditated are going to start something with her.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, I mean, in the same way, I know it's not the same thing, but like in the same way, it's premeditated that Shekinah is going to be on, having a fight with Sarper and he got kicked out of the house and they're going to be on last resort. That's the same fakeness of like Amani getting into a fight with Shekinah. Like to me, there's no much difference of the two kinds of fake scenarios.
Well, yeah, I do think that Amani went into this as the Sparkles.
Hmm.
I think she wanted to be the star, right? She got a new face, a new nose, a new ass, new titties, a tummy tuck, new hair. She dressed like a Disney princess villain, I think is what Captain said. She
Yeah.
wanted to be the Sparkles. And if you remember, Sparkles, he wore the most ridiculous outfit that he could find as well. So
Hmm.
he tried to be the star of the tell-all. So I think Amani's goal was to be that of this tell-all. And I think she was warning the cast members, like, hey, just so you know, I'm gonna go extra hard on you guys because I need another show after this. You know,
I'm the Kim Kardashian of this show. Watch
right?
out.
Like
I,
Michael
I called
Hollywood.
her I called her a teenage mutant ninja turtle because all
Hmm.
green.
True. By the way, like, I know we already said all this, but let me just read I did post one Instagram caption. And I said I would rate this tell all a 5 out of 10. I said it needed some shoe throwing, in all honesty. And then I said, I know we already mentioned this earlier, but I'll just repeat myself. I said, but it just felt like a 2 hour long promo for the continuation of the Sarper and Shekinah story, which is exactly what it was.
Yeah, it was. I'm not gonna lie. We spent way too much time on them, and I know that that was, well, the word that they wanted to use tonight, calculated.
Hmm.
Calculated. It was very calculated that they were trying to sell us Sarper and Shekinah, and I can't imagine why producers think that we're interested in purchasing anything that Sarper and Shekinah are selling. It's almost like they go on Twitter and they're like, let's do the opposite of what everyone who loves our show wants, right? Because I'm not gonna lie, there's about 10 people out there that really, really love Sarper and Shekinah, but then there's about 75,000 people who don't. So I can't imagine why the producers were like, well, let's just do whatever these 10 people want. You know, like
Hmm.
it's like the math ain't math and it doesn't make sense. But they seem to think that out of all of the couples this season, Sarper or Shakarpa are the ones that people want to watch. And it's like, so are y'all Helen Keller? Are you blind, deaf? Like, do you have any working functions, right? Like, do you know how to listen or read a room? Because everyone is trying to tell you, we don't want no more of this. Like,
I mean, yeah, and then obviously no one wants Sean Robinson to host, but she's still there.
Oh God.
I
Jeez.
will tell you one thing, okay?
She's not gonna be on the next tell all?
I know I'm not supposed to tell you this. So if anyone asks you who told you this, you do not
I do not know nothing.
don't say my name. But the next tell all, I'm not going to say the name of it. You can put it together, Shabooty. You can figure it out. The next tell all will be hosted by someone other than Sean Robinson. And I'm just going to say that. And then you do whatever you want with it.
With that information. Oh, hallelujah. Praise Jesus. Thank you.
So
Thank you.
if
Thank
you
you. They listened.
So the very next tell all that we watch,
Uh-huh.
the next one that comes on calendar wise,
Uh-huh.
Wait,
Sean,
it would be Hunt for Love, wouldn't it?
I didn't say anything, Gina. I said the next tell all that comes on calendar wise,
Hmm.
this date to the next tell all that you see on your TV will be hosted by someone other than her. That's all I'm saying.
It's going to be
Okay.
Hunt for Love because that's the only thing that's airing right now. It has to be. Ooh,
It
can't wait
could
for
be,
that.
but now the $1 million question is who would be the new host. Hopefully it's not Veronica.
Well,
Oh God.
I know who the host is. I just can't tell you. Okay, I'll tell you in the group chat. I know who the host is. You're not going to be I'll say this: it's not Veronica, it's not Big Ed, and it's not Meatball Danielle.
Oh, okay, well, I'm
Is
gonna
it
get.
Angela?
It's not Angela. Okay,
Is it? Is it?
I'll
Is
give
it?
you.
Is it
It,
Kenny?
it's not a past cast member.
Okay,
Okay.
interesting.
Is it a male or female?
They are female.
Okay.
Anyway,
Hmm.
anyway, we're not.
Okay,
Moving
well,
on.
Not going to spend too much time on this because I know for a fact I'm not supposed to say anything. And the ironic part about it is, Shabooty, is that you don't know this already because I know that you know a lot about what happened at the next tell-all that's going to air.
yeah.
So the fact that you're not aware,
Mm-hmm.
odd to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to leave it at that. It's odd to me.
Yeah. Well, I need to. I need to get. I must have been slipping up on the tea drainage.
Is it
Well, I
Liz?
will say we've been asking for a different host, and I'm gonna say the next tell-all that appears on your screen after this one will have a different host. I'm just gonna say it. And
True.
Wait, is it Liz?
it's not a past cast member.
Oh yeah, you said current. But then,
It's
okay.
not.
No, it's
It's
no,
not,
it's
it's not a
probably
cast member at all.
yeah,
Oh.
it's probably in the same vein of whatever because it wasn't Sean Robinson like she was like a E Entertainment Tonight type reporter and shit.
I can't remember what show she was
Yeah, something like
specifically,
that.
but yeah, right. She was some sort of entertainment reporter. I don't remember which show specifically that they
Okay,
snatched.
moving on because we could spend hours trying to figure this shit out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
and I can't tell you their name, so this is a waste of time.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you their name live. I can tell you their name, but I can't do it live. So this is a waste of time. We'll get into it.
true. Okay, let's get back to people on the show.
Business.
Okay, so who are we talking about? Shakarper, right? Yeah. We're talking about Shakarper, and um, I think were we done with Shakarper? Oh, wait. I did want to bring up that Dan was there, and Dan is still to this day selling on national TV that castle belongs to him.
Oh yeah.
So
Only in his dreams.
that's what's crazy to me because I was like, they brought it up, and Sarper's like, "Oh, you don't have a castle, or I don't have a castle," and he's like, "Well, yeah, you don't have a castle." And I was like, "Bro, neither do you. I know that you're not sitting here selling that's still your castle after everybody online figured out that wasn't your castle."
Mm-hmm.
True.
It's a
Yeah.
rent-a-castle.
I don't know. All the people like whether it was Dan or whether it was Mahdi's friend, they were just on there to like stir up shit, but it seemed very forced and fake solely for the purpose of stirring up shit. It didn't seem like a real. It didn't seem like the real. None of it felt like a real heated argument. It just felt like bullshit.
What I found funny is that he did say that Dan the Baguette did say that Shekinah or Shakarper's bedwetting looked cheap. I'm like, well, he's not wrong. He is definitely not wrong about that. He nailed that. Yeah, he figured that one out pretty fast.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like when Mahdi's friend was there, it just felt like the producers tell him what to say, so that whether it's Mahdi's friend or whether it's the baguette guy, the French guy, like they just basically spew out whatever the producers coach them to say. But it never comes across. It doesn't come across genuine. It seems like okay, I'm doing whatever they tell me to do.
Yeah, I agree. And the the Mahdi and Stevie thing, it's really what's the word I'm like repetitive at this point.
Hmm.
Like I'm really sick of the, oh, is she bisexual? Is she not bisexual? And I think what's really weird about it is he was like, oh, if she was and she finally told you today, would that change anything? And he was like, oh, I don't know. And I'm like, at this point, if she's bisexual or not, what are you going to do about it? Right? Because you're married already. It's really difficult to go back to Iran. And actually, as of right this second, I don't think anybody's trying to go back to Iran. What's going on right now? So I was like, what would really happen? Like, are you really that intolerant that you can love her right now, but if she licks cat and you found out, you would hate her like instantly? Like, is that really?
How did he get his green card so quickly, though, is what I want to know. Jesus.
Well, how quickly do you think though? Because they filmed this tell-all. Shabooty, when they filmed this tell-all, I want to say, um, February, March. Don't quote me. I can't remember now.
Yeah, the dates kind of blur together.
Yeah, I don't remember
but
specifically, but it wasn't that long ago.
but
Oh, he also said that he's a personal trainer. So
They all are.
they all are, right? So what is
yeah,
the deal with every man from every country that comes over here has to be a personal trainer? I think that's what drives me crazy because we know Sarper's a personal trainer.
mhm.
Anybody that comes over here, they can't get a regular job. They have to be a personal trainer. That's the only job available to men.
Yeah, they all use their brawn instead of their brains.
But why is that though? Because like there are men who can go to the gym and hold down a real job. Like why is it that these men can only do one thing?
Yeah, I think it's just when he was in Iran, he was. It's the same thing as that dude was Mohammed or whatever. But yeah, it's like I think it's just one of those like he's vain, and that was his his life was being in the gym. So that's the only thing he really brought to the table. So now when he's here, he's like, well, that's what my expertise is. I might as well do what I know.
I don't see going to the gym 7 days a week as a profession. Maybe I'm not. Oh,
Maybe you haven't watched enough Joey Swole videos. You know who that is?
I don't even know who that is. So I know I haven't. I know I haven't watched
Gina, do you
enough.
know who that is?
Uh, no, but I probably, if I look at his videos, I probably
He's just
will.
like he's an influencer. It's like when anyone in the gym acts like a shithead, he like reposts their videos and then he lectures them about their gym etiquette, and then he ends. He's like, "Do better. You need to do better," or some shit.
Oh, I've seen his videos before. I just didn't
Yeah.
know him by like, yeah, I've seen his videos before.
He doesn't
So
look human. Do you see the way his arms are shaped?
yeah, he could barely move his arms. They're so
Yeah,
big.
he doesn't even look human. He looks like something.
So he's like a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yeah.
Yes. Like looking
So
at this photo, it doesn't even look like there's a person anymore. It looks like
mhm.
something like they created with AI.
Yeah, but his whole life is like the gym. Boy, he's an influencer, but yeah. So yeah, those people that's what they turn their lives into. So.
I mean, if it works for you, if you can make enough money just going to the gym, because I didn't even know you made money. I thought you had to pay to go to the gym. So I didn't even realize that you can make enough money to live just by going to the gym. If you can do it, do what you do. I'm not hating on anybody.
Mhm.
Well, it's called sponsorships and whatnot, and like gym sponsorships, protein sponsorships, clothing sponsorships. So yeah, they're milking it.
I mean, I guess I ain't never went on Instagram and decided to go to the gym because somebody else was at the gym. I ain't never
Mhm.
did that. I have never wanted to buy any protein powder because I seen some dude drinking protein powder. So whatever.
Mhm. All right, like I'm just going through
Well,
some.
you're not Matt. You're not Matt. You don't follow people to the gym.
You're right.
Like I'm going through some of my not old, but I'm going through my tweets. Let's just go through some of them. So I said, "Trust me when I say Shekinah has a way bigger ego than Amani." Do you agree with that take?
Um, I don't know. I don't know if Shekinah has a bigger ego than Amani. I think Amani has a big ego. Shekinah got married in like a cheap hotel. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm beginning to.
No, but didn't you see the photo when Amani got married? She looked like a freaking Tunisian $3 hooker.
No, I saw it. I saw it. I think Amani thinks that she is more famous and bigger than she is. And don't get me wrong, I think Shekinah also thinks that she's a big deal, but I think
Mhm.
Shekinah has a lower self-worth value that she puts on herself than Amani. I think Amani really does think that she could be Vanderpump Rule status. I don't think Shekinah really believes that. I think she knows her limitations.
I disagree. I think out of those two, Shekinah's the one that thinks she could like star in her own Bravo spin-off show, for example. Like I feel like she feels like she's the big shot.
I think both of them are like they're so similar to each other. Like they're so similar. That's why they don't get along. Like
Hmm.
you see, like they have the same personality and that toxicity. Like toxic. They're plastic. They're everything combined
Well, they
together.
were
They
kind
don't see each other. They're looking at each other in the mirror, basically. It's like,
they were
oh,
going at each other about plastic surgery. And I thought that that
Hmm.
was like really weird because I was like, because it kind of like, why would you even have plastic surgery? And I was like, says the girl who's had plastic surgery like out the wazoo. I was like, how can you judge somebody for doing the same thing as you? Because she kind of like,
Hmm.
well, I did it for the right reasons. And I was like, is there really a right reason do plastic surgery, because at the end of the day, we should all just love ourselves for exactly who we are and what we are and how we were born and how we look. But at the end of the day, if you go and change everything about yourself, and I guess oh wait, what's her name? Amani's reason was she said that she needed to fit in on to society, and social media made her feel like she needed to change her body and look, right? And I think Shekinah was like, well, I did it because I wanted to look different. And I was like, both of those reasons are probably wrong, right?
Mhm.
At the end of the
Well,
day,
like,
both of those are
yeah.
probably wrong.
The one thing though, like, well, Amani, for example, she always like, because again, yeah, a lot of things she did, she probably, like, for example, I don't think she's happy with her nose. And so she kind of speaks out, and
Well,
says,
with
hey,
that
I'm not
nose,
happy with
with
my plastic surgery and stuff. So at least she's like being honest with her unhappiness.
Well, yeah.
that nose, I wouldn't be happy either with it. I'd be asking for my money back.
Well, Shekinah, they did a before and after with Shekinah tonight, and she looked pretty Skeletor in the before, and she looks pretty Skeletor in the after. There's not
Mhm.
much like
Yeah,
facial.
I was gonna make like I know you're adverse to like political tweets. So, but I didn't end up posting it, but I was gonna make like a political reference thing, and I was gonna say like with the before and after of Shekinah, I was gonna be like, this is before Trump bombed the mountain and nothing happened, and this is after Trump bombed the mountain and nothing happened.
I mean, yeah, yeah. I
And,
I hold on. Somebody just commented something. Oh, according to Dan, she lost weight. Yeah, Dan said that she's lost weight. I couldn't really tell. She's always been really skinny, so I
mm,
couldn't really tell if she's lost weight or whatever. I would tell if she gained weight because she would actually look like she's eating, but I couldn't
mm,
tell. But at the end of the day, I think she kind of wants to be controlled. She wants to be told what to do. She wants to be, um, mistreated. I think she kind of likes being mistreated. She likes for her man to put her on a scale and call her fat and tell her she owes him money if she eats. I think that's what she wants. And at the end of the day, she got exactly what she wanted.
mhm.
I think that she found a man who's gonna make her feel bad about herself, and that's what gets her off. So I think that at the end of the day, she's gonna get exactly what she wants.
True. And then what do you think of the whole Matt gets to go bang Ani at his leisure, and then Amani never gets to eat Ani's box on her own leisure?
I mean, I don't know how much of this I believe.
Yeah, these arguments these people have are basically like, are we really talking about this? Like, who's eating the
Mm,
box on which day? Are we taking? Well, yeah, no, I can't.
Well, I don't know because I don't know what storyline and what's is
mhm,
legit. Because one thing I noticed tonight was what's her name? Sean was like, "When's the last time you talked to Annie?" And Amani said, "Oh, a couple weeks." And then Annie was like 4 months or
mhm.
months or whatever. Like they didn't. Their stories don't corroborate with each other, so I know that there's not real communication between them, and I know that there's lies mixed in. So I don't really know if the Matt's banging her by himself or Matt's going to Mexico just to see her and he's leaving Amani at home. I don't know how legit
Yeah,
that is.
so my theory on that whole when they said we're still together, my theory on it is just the same way you say, well, the network does the opposite of what the fans want. So the same way the fans aren't fans of Shekinah, but they love the network loves them. I think in the same vein, the fans aren't fans of the throuple, especially the storyline, and the fans hate it. But then I think at the end of the day, the network likes the attention the throuple was getting. So then basically the network is like, well, we want y'all back. So in order to have that be a possibility, they have to say, yeah, we're still together. That enables the possibility of them coming back because the network likes them. That's what I think.
I mean, they would be perfect for the international last resort, right? Because
Mhm,
and then it's a throuple. That's three of them. They can all go there and hash their shit out. I get it. They would be a shoe in.
mhm,
It's an international thing. They will be able to film somewhere where Annie can get there. Yeah, I get it. But we definitely don't want any more of this nonsense. But like you said,
mhm,
the network kind of goes against the grain. They're like, oh, well, this tested really well, so let's get rid of this person. This
mhm,
this caused a lot of commotion and anger, so let's keep this person around. So I think that that's probably what we'll see. Whether or not we'll see Amani, Matt, and Ani on our screens again, I
mhm,
don't know. I haven't gotten any verification that they're filming anything or have filmed anything since.
mhm.
So, but they haven't started filming that new Last Resort yet. So,
True. What was I gonna say? Oh, but then let's go through some more of my tweets. I said Amani probably, this was more of a joke tweet, so it's not really like tea, but I said Amani probably went to Armani Exchange and asked to exchange her face. Oh.
Yeah, I like that. I thought
I like that.
because I didn't. I think I tweeted out. I was like, it was a picture of her, and they said something about Amani, and I was like, "Where's Amani? I don't see Amani in this photo," because I literally feel like that's a completely different person. Her whole face is different, and actually, I also put out there, Mina had a different face too. Did anybody catch that?
Yeah, she had a lot of makeup on and stuff,
Well,
right?
but the shape of her
Hmm.
face was different too. I didn't
Yeah.
recognize her
Yeah.
face because I was
Hmm.
like, it could just be Botox or fillers or whatever, but her facial shape and structure was a little different. And she
Hmm.
was very presentable
Hmm.
at this tell all because, we've been watching her struggle with her face all season. And today I was like, well, look at her growing into her face. Because I was like, now, whatever she's been trying to master all season, she figured it out for this tell all. And it's either she figured out her complexion and tone and what makeup and wig to put on, or there's some fillers in there. Because I felt like her,
Oh, there's fillers. There's fillers.
Hmm.
she was very
Well,
attractive tonight. She was,
when they asked her if she's kissed a woman, she said no. I was kind of surprised.
wait, you were surprised that Mina said no? Is it because she's a stripper?
Allegedly, yeah.
I mean, I was thinking that too. I was like, a stripper that's never kissed another girl is a little odd because I feel like
Hmm.
stripping and kissing other girls kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah, because I've seen like strippers get very touchy-feely with other strippers,
Yeah,
obviously.
on stage and off stage. Yeah, exactly. And then for private parties as well, they're very touchy feely. So yeah, that was a little weird for me. And then Joan said that she never has and never wanted to, and I was like, oh, a little prudish in the kissing girls area. And then Shekinah said that she's done way more than kissing. Did that shock
Mhm.
you at all?
It didn't
No,
shock
anything
me.
for that for
No.
anything attention for her, so it doesn't matter. Anything for a shock factor with that one.
Yeah,
So
I think Shekinah's a three input woman, and if you add women, she's a four input woman.
But do you think she really did anything with women, or you think that she just
I think she's like, yeah, I think she did everything under the sun.
yeah, me too.
really?
It
Okay.
Yeah.
doesn't surprise me.
I don't know. I didn't see her as like a adventurous chick.
Well,
No, but if
you
you look
had
at
the
it,
things.
and not to like judge a book by its cover, but if you look at her and all of her sisters are all like tatted up tattoo artists and wild childs, like they're not squares, so I feel like they're down for whatever.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, she did come from like in like not per se Amish upbringing, but kind of because she lived outside of that community. So, and like Shabooty just finished saying, like the sisters are all like out
Mhm.
there and doing their own thing. So, and she was living in LA. So, everyone has in LA has their hot girl summer.
They go to
Coco's
that
had
hotel. They
it.
go to the hotel and they get in the pool and they go into the semen-filled pool
Oh,
and
all
get
right.
wild. Oh, and then not to like change the subject, but do you feel Veronica and Big Ed added anything to the tell-all?
Zero
No,
added nothing.
Hmm.
No, I thought that it was a complete waste of time. Veronica saying that she was there and she's dating a Persian man, and I was like, since when are you dating?
no one gives a fuck. No one cares.
Well, not only that, but when have you posted anybody? Like it was
Hmm.
so
She
irrelevant.
has.
It
She has though.
wait, she's posted this person before?
She posted
Yeah.
pictures of him, but I don't think she said he was Persian necessarily.
Oh,
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't even realize. I mean, so cool, cool. But yeah, her adding anything to it, no, it was unnecessary. Big Ed being there was unnecessary because it was a different situation. Ed's mom moved in with him. It's not the same as Ed moving in with his mom because Greg lives with his mom because Greg is incapable of living on his own. So it wasn't even the same situation, which I was like, this is a reach. Because I was like, Ed's mom moved in with him because she didn't have anywhere to go and she was old as hell and needed to be taken care of. I was like,
Mhm.
he is a grown adult 400-pound man who just doesn't feel like living on his own because it seems hard. Like this isn't the same situation. So I didn't even see where the link was for him to even be there.
And then it's not really related to the tell-all, but I have some tea. It's not really tea, it's more funny. I guess it's a little bit of tea, like 50% tea. Speaking of Big Ed's mom, guess what the latest news is? Apparently she like, well, we know how Liz, we're beloved Liz is like our homegirl. So apparently, like Big Ed's mom would keep like snarking Liz in her Instagram DMs, and finally Liz got fed up and blocked Big Ed's mom today.
Wait. Big Ed's mom is on Instagram?
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know how like publicly widely known her account is, but
I don't know it because now I'm
I
curious.
don't know it either.
yeah, so like she would snark, but she snarks would snark at like Liz's stories or whatever, Instagram stories, and apparently Liz finally got fed up and blocked Big Ed's mom.
Isn't she like 98?
Probably.
She's on Instagram in her 90s. That's so crazy. Now I want to see like the little snarky comments because I'm
Okay, I'll tell y'all one snarky comment. I didn't ask. I haven't gotten like pre-permission to be sharing all this, but it's a one little nugget. So apparently, the other day, Liz posted a story at her job where it said like naughty bingo night every Tuesday at 7 at her bar, and
yeah.
then it had a picture of Liz and her bartender friends, and then Big Ed's mom replied in the DMs a snarky thing. She says, "Naughty girls are unacceptable."
What?
Yeah.
Wow, this is so petty. I don't even know.
I think she's just a little old lady that doesn't really know how to use social media, unfortunately.
No, I can smell the pettiness though.
Mhm.
She's not being petty correctly. I think she's a few centuries behind, but she is
Hmm.
trying to be petty. I can see that. Like saying
Mhm.
that she's not allowed to be happy without her son. I think that's the direction this is going. But it's crazy
Yeah.
to me that she thinks that Liz was the issue in that
Mhm.
relationship. Like, I guess that's what makes you a mother. A mother can see all of the things wrong with her child and still find
Mhm.
something wrong with other people. That's kind of how Lucille is. She can see
Yeah.
all of the issues in the person that she raised, but still find the problem that we
Mhm. Oh,
don't.
you know what? Coco. I mean, it's a joke, but Coco Puff says it's Ed on his mom's phone.
Oh, do you think
Yeah,
so?
I was gonna say.
Mhm.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me.
No, I think it's her. I think it's the mom, really, but it's a funny joke though.
I mean, I didn't know people that age were online.
True.
Like,
Well,
crazy.
we'll dig between now and Friday. We'll dig into. I
Well,
have that
yeah, I
account.
want
We'll
to
dig.
find the account and I want to see if we can't see, because when you read posts and read comments and read stuff, you can sometimes tell if the person wrote it or not. Like, do you remember back in the day we would get comments, and I think when this Michael and Angela stuff first started, a lot of people were like, "Well, this stuff that Michael is posting," because remember we didn't know if Michael really had social media or not. We would question if Michael actually wrote it based on how it sounded. And
Hmm.
I think that's what we were judging things on. So yeah, we need to find the account and see if we think that these posts are written by a person in their 90s. And I think we will be able to figure that out.
Yeah, I think. Trust me, I think it's her. I just I don't want to like share too many details because I didn't ask if I could share all this. So anyway, I think it's her. So yeah, that's one thing though. We'll dive into her Instagram account, but for Friday.
Yeah,
I
Uh,
think I found it.
oh
mhm.
yeah, let's for Friday screenshot a bunch of posts and things that it said, and then we'll
Is it? Well, is it? I haven't checked though, but Gina, is it public or private?
It's public.
Okay.
I'll
oh
send it to the group chat.
Yeah, I mean, I have the account number. I just haven't looked into it. But I'll see if it's the same one. Yeah, that's the one. Anyway, yeah, you found it. But anyway, we'll do. I don't want to like get into too much into it because that could be like an hour. That could be 30 minutes.
Mm,
A 30
Yeah,
minute
let's
segment.
not. Let's not and say we did. We'll see what I can find.
Yeah. All right. So let's see any other things. I guess we weren't surprised that Stevie didn't really get into the bisexual question again, right?
no, I wasn't surprised. I think that she's avoiding it for a reason. I don't really
Mhm.
know. Well, a lot of people online they were like, "Oh, I think she's bisexual." I wouldn't go that far. Oh, my bad. It says that she's 88.
Mhm.
Ed's mom, I'm sorry. She's 88. So when I said like 98 or whatever, that's 10 years too old. She's only 88. But yeah, I don't think that Stevie's bisexual. I think that Stevie is a two drink girl and she'll have a good time. There's a difference
Mhm.
between bisexual
Uh,
and having a good time at the bar.
were you surprised when you saw the split screen of Stevie when she was like more heavy set?
Oh, I didn't think she was that big in that photo.
True.
I didn't, and honestly, I think when she recorded her season, she was a little thicker in the season than she was at the tell-all.
The one thing I will say is that when she posts like things on social media now, she's always wearing her yoga pants and showing off her booty. So she's definitely proud of her figure this day and age.
Well, yeah, she looks good, but I remember when she came on the show, I thought she was on the thicker side, which is fine. I don't care.
Yeah. And didn't Amani say like that was her girl crush of the cast members or something?
Did she? I didn't catch that.
Yeah,
Yeah, she did at
at
the
the beginning,
beginning.
yeah,
Oh, she said Stevie was her girl crush.
of the
Oh,
cast members, yeah.
Well, everyone's her girl crush, so you know.
Hmm.
I mean, maybe they're gonna mess around. I don't know. I don't know where this is going.
True. Are any other topics we haven't hit? I feel like we've hit most of them, if not all of them.
Did we talk about the Lucille,
Uh,
Greg, and Joan
oh well, what do
deal?
you think of Lucille and Big Ed hitting it off?
That was unlikely. I didn't think that they would be friendly. Well, I know
Mhm.
it's not anything more than platonic because obviously Ed is never gonna date anyone that old. But
Mhm.
I thought it was interesting that they got along. Usually when people meet Ed,
Mhm.
doesn't go well, right? There's clash
Yeah.
and there's
Usually it's like what's the word? You're repellent.
yes, yeah. So the fact that she took well to him, it was interesting because I was like, well, that means that Lucille isn't as nice as I thought she was because if she likes Big Ed, that says something about her because most people don't like this man,
Mhm.
regardless of what they know about him or not. Like even if they don't know his backstory, they still don't get along. So
Yeah.
it was interesting to see that they were acting friendly. Obviously, the touchy feely stuff was BS. Ed is not going to date anyone over 30. So
True.
that is never going to happen. So
Okay,
it
I
was
have two questions, and let me get them out before I forget them. One, would if well, okay, one question would be Lucille said if Greg moves to Africa, she's not really interested in moving. I mean, not visiting because of the travel distance. Like, what did you think of that? Like, as a mom, not going to see her son because of the travel. And then my other question was, she also said if Greg moves out, one reason for she wants Greg to move out is because maybe she wants to start dating. So, would you watch Greg's mom on The Single Life? Is my second question.
okay. First question, you said she.
I,
Oh yeah,
s-
you said that
I
she
said, like,
wouldn't.
what do you think of a mother that won't go visit her son in Africa or something?
I don't think that she would not visit her son in Africa. I think she knows her son well enough to know that if he can't move out of her house, he can't move to Africa. So I think
Mhm.
that it's more so that she knows that that would never happen because that would involve planning and money and
Mhm.
and follow through. And she knows that she didn't raise anyone that could do any of those things. I don't think.
True.
I think that if he threatened to move to Africa, she would flip out and she would never let it happen. But I think she knows him well enough to know that he would never be able to afford it. It would
Mhm.
never be something that he would be able to do. So I don't think he's
True.
worried about it.
Okay, now answer the second question. Would you watch her as the cast member on The Single Life?
That's hard because I remember when
Well,
Colty
it would be like Debbie's. It would be like, yeah, Debbie.
yeah, I remember when Colty's mom was announced for the single life, I was disappointed. I was like, I don't want to watch her, but I really enjoyed watching her on the single life. She was nasty and she was talking about her coochie and it was just awful.
Mhm.
So I was just like, and also I said the same shit about Miss Debbie. I was like, I don't want to watch that. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So,
Yeah.
I probably would watch it.
Yeah, like the fans rallied around Debbie on
Yeah,
Single
I
Life.
I love Debbie, and for some reason, when they said she was going to be on the single life, I was like, oh, I don't think I would watch it, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. So you know what? I probably would watch Greg's
Mhm.
mom on the single life because I know that it would make him uncomfortable, and then they would film with him, and then he would be there to disapprove of the men and everything. So
Mhm.
it would probably be
And yeah, and they'll probably give her like a makeover to look hotter.
well, yeah, like they did for Debbie. They
A
Yeah.
mommy makeover.
the new hair color, and they put
Mhm.
her in the little slutty dress.
Yeah.
Put her in. Yeah, I would watch it. Unfortunately, I'm one of those lame people that buy into the stupid stuff.
I have to say now that we're talking about it, I'm interested in watching it. So I feel like we just gave TLC a good idea, even though they probably already thinking about it.
Well, yeah, it's probably already in the works. Well, I know that she's not filming this season of The Single Life. It's already in production, and
Hmm.
she's not filming. So this would be another season of it.
Yeah, true. Okay, I'm trying to think. All right, who? What else haven't we talked about?
Oh yeah, we talked about Stevie, Mahdi.
They didn't really get too much into Mina and Mark this
Oh,
Oh
episode.
what did
yeah.
you? Somebody, like somebody on. I think I don't know. Oh, it might have been on Blue Sky, but they were like, "Why the fuck does Mark? Is he wearing like a hoodie or whatever?" You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I saw that too. He dyed his hair different. Am I wrong? Isn't Mark's hair like darker now than it was on the show, or am I
Or
wrong?
it looks maybe longer. I don't know.
Yeah, there was something going on different about him. I couldn't put my finger on it. Um, and also they moved to Boston, which I guess we're gonna get into more
Mhm.
in part two. So they moved to a different place because she was really complaining that she didn't like where would they live? Connecticut?
New Hampshire?
Hampshire,
New
New Hampshire.
Hampshire?
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently they did move to Boston, which I don't know if he ended up having to get rid of his runway because he had a runway in his backyard.
Mhm.
He some
Well, I wonder if she had to get rid of her runway, aka her stripper runway. Oh, just kidding.
Oh,
Anyway, sorry. Good.
but yeah, I want to get into that, and obviously we're gonna get some updates on Clayton, but obviously I don't think Clayton is here yet.
No.
So we'll get some updates on, what's going on with that kid and, what she's going to do. Oh, and I want to talk about Greg and Joan. They said that they're trying to have a baby.
Oh, well, let me just interrupt because so there's I'll give this person credit. So someone on Blue Sky, their username is It's Just Pat. So let me just read what they posted because they had a good tweet. It said observations so far. The studio lighting is doing no favors to Aaliyah. 2, is Joan pregnant? Question mark. 3, the American female part of the throuple looks hideous. 4, why is Mina's husband wearing a hoodie? So that was their observations.
Those were all very accurate observations. Those
Mhm.
are all questions that we all had, actually.
Valid
True.
questions, valid points.
Yes, very valid. And we don't know the answer to any of these. We're really confused.
Mhm. But yeah. So before I interrupted you, sorry. Yeah, is Joan pregnant? Was the question, I think.
Yeah, that was what people were saying tonight.
Mhm.
And she said that she wants to get pregnant and she's not using contraception because she's married. So, what do you guys think that she would be okay having a baby while this man has no actual plan of moving out of his
Yeah.
mother's house? You think?
Yeah, I would because the
Yeah.
attitude she was giving, this is the only time in TLC history that Shekinah was right. She's like, have more respect for the woman's house that you are living in. And I'm like,
Mhm.
where did that come from? Where did that intelligent remark come from? That peanut little brain of yours. But you know, sometimes they come up with the brightest ones.
Mhm.
So Shekinah did come up with a good line for that. The way she was just talking, Joan was talking to Lucille was
Gina,
just
get closer to your mic.
disrespectful. Sorry, the way that Joan was talking to Lucille was just disrespectful. Like
Mhm.
I can't believe it, and I can only imagine what's happening in the house on a daily basis because there must be some animosity in there.
Mhm. But
I
yeah,
don't
I think Joan is ready to plop out kids because.
But do you think Joan is not worried about where they live because she knows that's never going to change? Like, I think deep down she knows that Greg is never going to step up and move out of his mother's house. Like, she has to have figured that out by now, right?
Like, okay, well, I don't know. I feel like here's my maybe I'm wrong, so feel free to disagree. I won't be offended. But I feel like maybe with Greg being on television and having more attention and having more confidence and having fans and I feel like the exposure may give him the confidence. Now he's like he has more self-awareness to get his act together. So I feel like he's gonna get his shit together in the sense of like he's gonna stop being the doughboy loser who lives in his mom's house, and I think he's gonna. You were gonna be shocked at how like you know he's gonna be doing. I think pretty soon we'll see them move out. Is what I think.
I mean, I would hope so. I can't
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
remember when Emily's parents told her, they were like, the one thing you can't do while you live in my house is have a baby. And they had a baby.
Another baby.
Yeah,
Another
another
baby.
Mhm.
baby. You're right. They already had a baby. They're like, don't have another baby. And the first thing that they did when they moved into her parents' house was they had another baby. So, and I think that people really should be very aware of what they bring, what situation you bring a child into. I
Mhm.
think that, Greg and Joan don't have their shit together, right? Like they don't have anything together. he has made it very clear that he doesn't want to get a regular job. Getting a regular job is the last thing he's ever wanted to do. And moving out of his mom's house, every time he talks about it, he talks about it as something in the distant future, not the near future. He's like, oh yeah, one day or soon or at some point. It's never something that he's actually actively working towards. It's always something far off in the future. And it's like, you're about to be in your 40s. Why is it so far off in the future moving out? Like you thinking about having a baby should be so outside of your realm. You should be thinking of where are you going to live? You know,
Mhm.
at some point you would want your own place. Like I can't imagine getting married and having kids while I'm living in somebody else's house. I can't even imagine. Like I guess I just was raised differently than people.
A parent's house, like for here, you guys know how much properties cost here. Like there's rent, like you could rent a house, right? That's not a problem, or rent a basement as a starter. And then that's what they said about
Mhm.
renting the trailer as well, right? And Greg's just like, no, we're not doing that. Like he just
Mhm.
seemed to bypass that idea altogether.
The idea outside of him living for free in his mom's house is something he's not interested in. Every idea of his own place, if you've noticed since we've heard from him, he doesn't want. He does because they were
Um,
like, "Oh, let's get an apartment." He's like, "No, I don't, I'm not an apartment person. I'd have
mhm.
to buy a house." Anytime anyone gives him any idea, and then she's like, "Oh, get a trailer. You know, go to a trailer park, get you a trailer." Like, I don't want any idea outside of Lucille's house. Is a bad idea. He's already shooting it down. He's got a missile launcher in his hand, and he's launching missiles at any idea that involves him having his own shit.
I don't know. I feel like Joan is gonna whip him into shape, mentally, physically, whatever. And I think he's you'll be surprised when they'll be living out, they'll be moving out and living in their own place sooner rather than later. That's my feeling.
I think Joan is gonna be the reason why he ends up in his own place. Unfortunately, it's probably when she leaves this world and he inherits her shit. But
Well,
I think
the
that's
thing,
exactly what's gonna happen.
Well, she's
the
gonna
thing
outlive his
is,
fat ass. No, I'm kidding.
the thing is, Lucille, like Greg has a brother or sister. I don't know which one because she was talking about grandkids and stuff like that. She loves her grandkids, but she
Mhm.
ain't no full-time nanny. So he's gonna have to divide. He's likely gonna have to divide that house between him and his sibling. And I think it's this.
Well,
I think he has a sister.
Greg might have a sibling who's not a loser. Because
Mhm.
when okay, so when
You would still have to divide the assets into half.
well, some siblings don't want it. I was gonna say when my grandparents passed, they passed pretty close together, right? They both had homes, and we had family. That we have family that ain't shit, and then we have family that has so much money they don't know what to do with it. They were all um people that were to inherit these things. So we had people that were like, I want no part of it. And then we had people that were physically going to fight each other for the houses. So I was like, maybe his sibling is the complete opposite of him, has a good job, has a career, already has a home, has everything going for themselves. And then they don't want to be a part of any of that stuff. Because maybe that's what he's banking on. He's like, oh, well, my sister has a husband. He has a good job. They have their own home. They don't need my mom. That's what he's banking on. He's like, I'm going to get all of it.
Mm,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Oh, by
that's
the
not
way,
gonna work.
true.
Does work. We've had the people that I told you when this happened in my family, they just signed off that they wanted nothing. They wanted no part of the selling of the homes, remodeling of they wanted no part of it because I well the people that I'm talking about, they already had millions and millions of dollars. So they just did
Yeah.
and the homes that we inherited were in not great areas. They needed a lot of work. They weren't going to bring anything positive. So they were just like they just signed paperwork saying they wanted nothing to do with it.
Yeah. I guess it depends.
Well, I think that since we haven't seen the sister, I'm already assuming that she already has her shit together because she was smart enough to stay the hell away from the show.
True.
Or a brother. I don't know if it's a sister or brother. I don't know. But I just think that they might have because we have that's how my siblings are too. I have one of my siblings is a doctor. One of my siblings owns multiple businesses and properties and everything. Like if anything was to
Mhm.
happen, they're not gonna fight. We would never fight each other for anything because we don't want it or we don't care.
Mhm.
So it just depends on that situation.
All right. Well, I think we hit every topic. Any other final words?
Oh, Match Me Abroad was on, guys. So if y'all want to
Mhm.
watch Harold and
Uh-huh.
his story as it continues, make sure you watch Match Me Abroad. And Mark from Match Me Abroad last season and I are gonna do a recap on this season. So if y'all want to watch that, that'll be on TikTok. And tomorrow is Hunt for Love.
Mhm.
So if y'all are still following along with that, hopefully you are. We'll be watching Hunt for Love tomorrow as well.
I think my brain has too much reality TV in it. Yesterday, today, I think
Yeah,
it's
you
like
binge watch too much. What's it called? Love Island.
Love Island, yeah. I'm still on episode 7. I was supposed to get to episode 12 today. I turned it on, and 20 minutes in, my sister called, and then we were on the phone for like 5 hours, and I was like, oh my God, I'm never gonna get through this season because nobody will let me watch it. And then yesterday, Gina, I told you I had call after call after call. I had to put my phone on Do Not Disturb just to get to episode 7.
Yeah, I think you and Gina should do like the Love Island podcast.
Yeah, we were thinking about it. We wanted you to join in, but I don't think that we're able to convince you to get on board. I don't think we've been successful.
It's not
No,
that
I don't think
it's not that I
so.
watched it and didn't like it. I just haven't watched it yet.
Well, that's what we want you to get on board. We think it would be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, it's just like it's one of those things where it's like that's the big hurdle is the first episode. So if you can get me to watch
The
first
first
episode,
one is really good. The
yeah,
first one is
Yeah.
but
yeah, well,
it's a commitment because there's
yeah,
like an episode every day. So you got to be
yeah,
very, very committed.
yeah,
But
But
that's
then after that, it's like an hour episode. So once you've caught up, aka myself, I've caught up. Now it's just like an hour episodes, right?
yeah.
So it's fine.
But you also
But
you're also dizzy from all the reality TV you watch.
yeah, basically.
But yeah,
Um, but no,
and
I think George, you were in it to win it for like 20 minutes in. You're like, yeah, I'm hooked, hook, line, and sinker.
yeah,
I'm
I was
good.
booked pretty early, but there's just so much. Oh, and the show ends in 3 weeks. So it's already
yeah,
going to be over in 3 weeks. So if you're going to do it, you got to do it like right now.
yeah, it will do. Okay, well, answer this one question, and I don't want to get in too long of the Love Island show, but like, so explain real quick to me how the like, so you vote like who you want to kick off or something.
Well, the voting is later in the season. So at first,
Mhm,
they introduce the singles and then they give them like a night or two like to mingle. And
mhm,
then there's a coupling ceremony where they put two people together in a couple even though they don't know anything about each other.
mhm,
And then then you have to sleep in the same bed with the person that they coupled you with. And then they do shady things like they have like this thing where they blindfold you and you get to kiss other people in the house
mhm.
and then not tell anyone. So then everyone's wondering, like, is the person I'm coupled with like trying to get with somebody else? And then
Yeah.
later on, episodes later, there's a recoupling ceremony where they
And there's bombshells. They'll drop
And
bombshells.
then how does the voting work?
well, I haven't gotten to the voting yet. So
Okay, well,
I
Gina,
can't vote. I can't vote because I'm in Canada. I can't vote. It's only
but,
for US. So there's different voting. Like you can vote for your favorite couple. You can vote who you want to eliminate. You
mhm,
can like so there's different voting structures, but I
yeah.
can't vote, so it sucks. But it is what it is. But
They like
uh
they I feel like 90 day. It'd be cool if they did a 90-day version where we could vote people off, and then we do like campaigns on social media, like get Big Ed kicked off, and everyone do a social media
y-
campaign.
that would be
yeah.
so fun. I actually love that idea.
And
Like,
Yeah,
then I never seen how many wait, what? From George's tweets last night. Wait, what? Like it was like 4 or 5 times in a row. We're like, wait, what? Wait,
well,
what?
there's no predictability, I guess, on Love Island. It's they always just do random, strange, off the wall things that you weren't expecting.
yeah.
Like the episode I watched last night, they kicked somebody off, and they had
Mhm,
never kicked anybody off before. And I was like, so now we kicking people out? Like
mhm.
Hmm.
there's no predictability, and I think that's what keeps me hooked.
Yeah, and it's impressive too. So like, so they'll record an episode, but then they'll turn it around editing in like 24 to 48 hours, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
current. Yeah, it's very current, and
Hmm.
And then they kind of have like other shows inside like they'll have like kind of like between the sheets, but not between the sheets. Like I think
Hmm.
episode 11 and yesterday's episode, they kind of have like an after show. So they'll talk about like Megan the Stallion was on 2 episodes ago or whatnot. They'll talk about that, and then they'll bring out the castmates the cast that was kicked out, type of thing like that. So they'll bring them in as well, right? So they kind of have like an in between the sheets type of thing as well going on, but it's not
Yeah.
every episode. So you have episode 11 and you have episode 17 where they're doing these like
It
little
was episode 5.
episodes.
It was episode
Mhm.
5 too. 5 was one.
True. Okay, well, that's good. No, I mean, I'm definitely intrigued. I just gotta, it's more of a time commitment. I don't know.
It is a time commitment, but if I can do it, anyone can do it. Once you're hooked, you're hooked. You're like, shit, now
Yeah,
what?
no, it's crazy how like viral the tweets are, like like 15,000 likes and shit like that.
There's Twitter communities that are
Mhm.
just for like if you like a cast member, there's a whole community that's just dedicated to one cast member, and it has hundreds of thousands of people. And then there's ones that are just dedicated to the show, and it has like millions of people. Like the show is so massive. It's like insane how big the show is.
True. Yeah. No, for sure. I gotta get on board. Yeah. So anyway, hopefully, we'll see. But in the meantime, though, we gotta watch Hunt for Love tomorrow. So
Yeah, tomorrow's Hunt for Love, and then I'll try to get back into it. I can't watch any Love Island tomorrow. I have like a massively busy day.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let me do my outro because I feel like we did enough for tonight. Thank you everybody for listening to 90 Day Fiance Fridays on
On a Sunday.
Sunday.
tell all edition. Thank you everybody. Talk to y'all tomorrow for Hunt for
Thanks.
Love.
Good
Peace out,
night.
everybody.
Night.